Once again, absolute fucking madness in Chinatown. There's been a stabbing. 3 stabbings, I think. What the fuck is going on? Someone's driving off in that ambulance with someone blue lighting him straight to the hospital.
I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope everybody had a good weekend and a good bank holiday. We've got a lot of news to get through due to the fact that the police haven't been releasing as many statements due to the mourning of the Queen. But firstly, we're going to start in Birmingham, and this story from the weekend. 2 men were stabbed outside So Bar in Birmingham city centre. Disorder then led outside. They were aged in their 20s and they sustained knife wounds at the bar that is in the Arcadian in Chinatown. The attacks happened just after 1:30 AM on September the 18th, and the police say 2 men were taken to hospital with injuries, but there was not life-threatening. West Midlands Police said the disorder broke out inside the bar and led to the outside, and they'll be searching CCTV to find out what occurred. Further pockets of disorder continued into Chinatown, and this resulted in the arrest of a 24-year-old. And in relation to this story, I'm happy to say that the mother of Daniel Baird, Linda, has confirmed that the bleed kits that are used in the city centre and funded by her foundation in memory of her son were used in this incident. So they would have had a massive factor in contributing to these men not losing their life or the injuries being worse. Daniel was 26 years old when he was killed in a similar sort of situation where an argument broke out inside a pub. This was the Forge Tavern in 2017 in Birmingham. This was over an electronic punch bag, and a disagreement occurred, and a man called Colton Donaldson stabbed him to death outside. He was jailed for 23 years for this murder, and Daniel's family mourned him and also wanted to try to do something to leave a legacy for his life. And this is where the Daniel Baird Foundation came from, where they made bleed kits and fitted them around the city centres in different areas in order to try to prevent a similar tragedy from happening in the future. And Daniel's mother asked me to be able to mention this in the actual news as well. So it's not very often that we get to cover positive aspects of a story, but I think it's really important as well. So thank you to the Daniel Baird Foundation and also to everybody that helps that evening. In some other news from Birmingham as well, a story that has done really well on our social medias on Twitter is about a school teacher that has been jailed for 3 years, only 3 years, for sexually abusing 3 pupils. This was inside the classroom as well. He actually let the children truant lessons and spend time with him, and they made a Snapchat group and he groomed them basically. Mohammed Tamoor worked at a school in Birmingham, and they discovered after one of the girls told another staff member that he'd been abusing the children, and he was only arrested in May 2022. He was questioned by the police and the Public Protection Unit, and an investigation was underway. Tamoor from Richmond Road, Birmingham, admitted 11 charges of sexual assault at Birmingham Crown Court. The assaults took place between January and May this year, and on the 13th of September he was sentenced to 3 years and ordered to sign on the sex offenders register for life. The 20-year-old enticed the girls by offering them time off lessons and also joined the Snapchat group. DC Megan Davis from the child abuse team said this was an appalling abuse of power and trust by somebody who was in authority. Tamoor essentially groomed them and sexually abused the female students on and off the school premises. And this for me is what really doesn't make sense, is why on earth does somebody who is in a position of power sometimes get lesser sentence when really they should get more, because they were fully aware of what they were doing and the position they was in and the abuse that they was inflicting on others. But everybody on Twitter had a big opinion about this story, so I really want to hear what everybody else has to say on YouTube as well. In some other news, a breaking news story coming from Birmingham. A murder investigation has been launched after a 41-year-old man was found dead on Alexandra Road. They believe he suffered a stab wound at 7:30 on the 18th of September, Sunday. A post-mortem examination is due to be held to find out exactly how he died, but no arrests have been made, and police are scouring the area trying to gather CCTV and dashcam footage. So my condolences to the family of the male that is yet to be named, and we'll definitely keep you updated on anything to do with that story. And in this other story coming from the Bromsgrove area, I've had video footage sent in by a viewer, said that a dispute kicked off between travellers and also the workers at a site on Bromsgrove Road last week. This was at the old Bluebird factory in Huntington.
You took somebody off that one, who's going to be tablets here now. Very, very sorry.
Vezi că sparge ganul nostru. Haide, pula mea. Haide. Vezi, ganul nostru, vezi că sunt tudo. Dai, man, curva aia.
An official police report said that they were called on the 13th of December after tensions flared and video footage showed the travellers clashing with demolition workers, smashing up vehicles. Locals have also said there was 12 caravans nearby and they'd been working through the night to strip the actual facility of all of the metal. One of the workers was assaulted and vehicles were damaged. They cut a hole for the fence and then they went towards Dove House Fields Farm, the Houseowing News reported. A spokesman for the ambulance service said they were called to the reports of an assault on Bluebird Park, Bromsgrove Road at 10 to 9 in the morning. One ambulance attended and they treated a male who had a wound to his head and they discharged him at the scene. No arrests were made, but more security were put on the site to try to deal with the situation. So this is just some news from the West Midlands, Birmingham and local areas, and I've got a lot of news coming up as well. We've got some East Midlands news about Leicester and some news from London. So don't forget to follow on social media at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.